want to talk to you about meal planning. Now, you can click the link in my bio and check out any my keto and paleo basics cooking course, which is available now. And I'm going to talk about a lesson that I have in the course, which is on meal planning. Now, if you are trying to eat healthy meals every day and you have an issue with that, it may be because you have not planned your meals. When you plan out your meals, this will create, less failure, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so when you want to meal plan, what you want to do is write things out. And I'm going to show you how you can meal plan and then successfully meal prep on top of that. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when you meal plan is that you need to decide how many weeks that you are going to plan for. And how many days or weeks ahead you plan your meals is going to be important. Now, this depends on a number of factors for you. It can be how much time you have to plan, how much time you have to prep, also, and the space that you have in your refrigerator or freezer is also important, because you can plan for about 3 weeks or so, but will you have enough space in your fridge or freezer for that? So that is going to be an important factor. And then the next thing is you want to it's best to start with just 1 week of planning and prepping. So it's you want to include all of your meals that you would eat: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts. And you want to consider the meals that you will make with your leftovers. So any school lunches for work or work lunches, any school lunches or work lunches, and any special occasions. Now, so let's get started with meal planning. And as I said, the first step in meal planning, well, I didn't say yet, but the first step is to take inventory of everything that you have in your refrigerator, in your freezer, and in your pantry. And what I like to do is to write everything out. I mean, this is what you're going to need to do, right? Is write everything out. What I like to do is put things in categories. So your meats and your seafoods and any other, nuts and things like that in one category. And then your dairy, whatever you have for dairy, whatever you have for your produce, and also whatever pantry items that you have. You want to write all of that out. So, just start with writing everything out. Go through your pantry, and even like, okay, I wrote down lemons. So I have my list that I made for this week. And so I wrote down everything that I had. Chicken drumsticks. I had a whole chicken. These are freezer items. Lamb chops in the freezer. Then I had some cooked chicken veggie soups in there still. I have some gut broth left over, some carrots in the refrigerator, and some celery that I still haven't made. I still have a bit of a half of a roasted chicken that's left there in the refrigerator that I want to do something with, right? But this was on Tuesday, so I made that decision. I wrote that down also. And my green apples, I have one green apple, one pink lady apple. When you write these things down, it's important because it saves it from going to waste. So I definitely wrote down my lemons, because sometimes lemons go to waste, even though it's like a few dollars for lemons, but when I get organic lemons, it becomes expensive. So just write down everything, right? And then from that list, what you want to do is just decide on what meals that you want then from that list. So like with my roasted chicken, I wrote that down, and then what you want to do next is write everything out, all the meals that you decide that you want, and from your ingredients. So for me, it was what I also did was put it in order. I broke it up: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts. And so in in the breakfast category, I have sweet apples, turkey sausages that I know I want to make. I'll make some more gut broth, which I'll need every morning. And I also want to make a seafood scramble. And yes, with the roasted chicken, I want to make some organic chicken and veggie scramble. And that's really good, really convenient, and all you do is just chop up the chicken, add and chop up the kale and the zucchini, and scramble it all up with, just kind of cook it up, saute it in the pan, and it comes out delicious. And so that's definitely what I've been eating on, yesterday and today, as part of my meal plan. And I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but I planned about for 3 days. So I have my list here with things I planned out, right? And so I have desserts. I made a sweet potato souffle last night. You can go back and watch the replay of that on Instagram because it was amazing. Well, it came out good, and if you pop in here at the end, then I can definitely show you my delicious sweet potato souffle that I made for just the second time only. And this second time, it came out much better than the first time, I must say. Really delicious. So, also, I have on my list, I'm going to make a veggie scramble stir fry. And so, anyway, when you go ahead and write down all of your stuff, what you'll want to do then is write down all the ingredients that you'll need for your dish. Like every single ingredient is helpful to write that out. And so for my sweet apple turkey sausage, I know I'm going to need ground turkey. I'm going to need 1/2 of an apple. I'll need nutmeg. I'll need allspice, and I'll need some cayenne pepper and salt. I write out the spices sometimes because I run out of spices, and the worst thing is to run out that one little bitty ingredient that you need for that week. So that's why I recommend that you just write out everything that you need for that dish and just write it out. That's going to be your ingredients list, and that is also a part of the what's in your meal plan. I have an example for a PDF, and I'll add in a workbook, perhaps, well, a blank PDF that you can fill out yourself, so you'll see exactly what it is I'm talking about. I'll have that blank PDF, and you can print that out, and you'll have it for your meal plans. So what this is your ingredients list of all the ingredients you'll need for every dish. And then when you're done with your ingredients list, what you'll want to do is cross out everything that you already have on or in your pantry and in your freezer that's on your list. So you may not even have to write out these things, right? But for me, sometimes it's helpful for me to write all these things out just so I don't forget those little bitty ingredients like spices when it comes time to cook. So then the next thing that you can do after you have your ingredients list and you cross out all of your ingredients is then prepare your shopping list. That's your shopping list there. And based on your ingredients list, and then your final shopping list is going to be, much more easier and manageable to go ahead and tackle that shopping list. And then your shopping list can be separated also with your categories: meat, seafood, nuts in one category, and your dairy products in another category, your produce in another category, and your pantry items in another category. And that brings me to another thing that I failed to mention, was that, planning out your list. That's going to be in the step um, with your meal planning all together for that week. So you want to know, okay, with this particular meal, how many servings will that be? So for my sweet apple turkey sausage, that's going to give me 4 servings. I'll know that I'll have that like twice. I can have it for breakfast, maybe once for dinner or something like that. So you really want to put that there, that you'll have, this meal on this day, you'll have it for breakfast, and then you'll come here and you'll have it for lunch the next day, and then you come here and have it for breakfast the following day. So you'll be able to break up what it is that you want, then your next meal, like your lunch, say, on that, maybe what you'll take in for work, maybe you'll have it the night before or something. And so you'll have it for lunch that day, and then you'll have it here again for dinner the next day on Tuesday night. And then that'll be it for your servings, right? So with my sweet apple sausage, I have 3 servings that I used up. I know I have that one left, right? And so that's the other thing, is making sure that you leave you include leftovers in your plan, right? And your servings. So even with my organic chicken and veggie scramble, that's going to give me about 4 servings. So, but I could do it in 3, right? So, but you just want to put some flexibility in there. Um, Consider all of your leftovers here. If you want to do breakfast here and do lunch there, you have another serving left over perhaps, and do it for breakfast again on a Thursday. And so that's the other thing about and making sure that you include these leftovers in your plan. And then the last thing you'll want to do is leave room for flexibility throughout the week. Like perhaps you're going to go out with friends one night, and you'll skip preparing that stir fry, right? Or making the roast or something. And the other thing is leaving room for other surprises, like if you don't have an ingredient. So for this week, I was going to make this chicken dish with tomato sauce and almond butter. It comes out delicious. It's chicken drumsticks. And I might, change over to chicken thighs, because I'm not a big fan of drumsticks. So I might just do it with thighs from now on and just make it my meal, for sure. It already is my recipe, because I swapped out peanut butter for almond butter, because I don't eat peanut butter. So my recipe, I'll post it. I'll repost on the blog, because I think I do have it on my blog, but I think I have to update the pictures because I made a mistake in the recipe. So I'll update that. And then the other thing is that, because I wanted to make this chicken, I found out I could not find the peppers that I needed for it to make the tomato base, the tomato stew base that goes in it, that I use instead of tomato paste. So I skipped it and I just got a spaghetti squash because I already bought the tomatoes. Oh, they're over there, and they already I have to use them before they go bad, so I'm going to just make a simple tomato gravy and then use my spaghetti squash. And then I have some chicken breasts that are in the freezer, so I'll grab those perhaps in the next day or two and saute those up so they'll be nice and quick for that. I so again, we'll go over everything one more time. Again, my name is Keish Mitchell. I help people lose weight, reduce cravings, and transition to a gluten-free diet. You can click the link in my bio to schedule a free consultation and check out all the products and services that I have. And check out my new blog at easyglutenfreelifestyle.com. I love the blog. There's a lot of things on there. There's a lot of important conversation that you will want to check out if you are having some health issues. So we'll go over the outline again, and we'll start with, first of all, you'll want to decide how many weeks you want to plan for your meal, how many days or weeks ahead. For this, my meal plan, I just did about 4 days. I planned about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 recipes, 12 dishes, really just one dessert, one snack, I work it out. It's only for 4 days or whatever, so I have a lot. And then the other thing is you want to consider any leftovers that you want to use in your meal plan. And then the first step is to go ahead and take inventory of everything that you have in your kitchen, in your freezer, and in your pantry, and write all of it down. It's very important to write it down. And then the next thing, you want to brainstorm different meals. And now, I did want to mention that you want to consider how these meals are going to be prepped as you brainstorm. Okay, consider how the meals will be prepped, how much time you have, because you can save time by prepping some meals with a slow cooker and making some things ahead of time. Like, I love to blanch when I first get my produce. That locks in the ingredients and the nutrition and the freshness. It locks in the freshness and the nutrients. And it also is very convenient for me to go ahead and use those blanched veggies for stir fries later on during the week when I have less time to cook. So if you're pressed for time, think about how your ingredients are going to be prepared. That's especially important for me because I can't prep a ton of things at once. I need to prep maybe 3 or 4 things. I need to consider how much chopping is involved, because I have injuries. So I need to consider how much chopping is involved, how much standing is involved, really, and how many dishes I'll have left over, how much cleaning is involved afterward. So I'll make sure that everything is cleaned up that night. So also consider that when you are brainstorming your meals from your inventory list. And then the other thing next is you want to write out all of your meal ideals and be as detailed as possible. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks and desserts. And after you make your list of meals, then you'll want to write out all the ingredients that you'll need for each meal, minus what you already have in your pantry and your freezer. And then, of course, leave room for flexibility for those fun nights out with family and friends and other things. And also, include leftovers in your plan, and make sure, if you can, um, think of certain ingredients that you can use for multiple meals and what you can use as leftovers. So if there's anything else, you can always send me a DM. You can send me an email at info@keishmitchell.com. Also info at easyglutenfreelifestyle.com. And I'll be sure to answer. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, and later.